Welcome back, guys. Talking sports, wearing shorts, back again here with Mrjxckss. You know the drill. Back here again, round 7, episode 5. The tongue twisters are not going away.
No.
Both rocking the beanies tonight, mate.
Oh, I'm always on the beanie, mate. My ears get sore if I don't, so I have to.
I got the headphones in, so I'm avoiding it. But it's getting cooler now, man.
Yeah, well, that's why it's good for me because I'd have to do this through summer. It's a fucking nightmare, mate.
Bro, your head must be so sweaty.
There was a few streams. You have a look. I've got like hair skin. I'm sweating. There, it's all drenched. It's terrible. But yeah, no, it's winter. It's good. You know,
it's good. I like it,
cool. Yes.
Oh yes, mate. It's very good. Big round, mate.
Mate, there is a couple of crackers. There was a few good learning curves we'll get into for a few teams, I think, of last round as well. We took a lot out of round 6, but just get straight into the tests again, because I imagine we'll cover it all when we go through. And we got West Coast versus Richmond, both off losses. Obviously, West Coast got pumped by Port Adelaide, and Richmond lost to Melbourne.
Did you see the stat of West Coast, how long they hadn't scored a goal for? It was on Instagram, and it's like, oh, Fox Footy's just taking the piss now. And like they had put it up on the pitch, and it was like a count. It was like a clock, and it was just like it hit 60 minutes, and then it just kept going. They didn't score a goal for like
what they left legitimate. They left the clock on the screen. No shot.
Oh, like in the game.
Oh, they did. That's just taking the piss.
The clock was on, and it was just like ticking, and they're like, now West Coast have not scored for 60 minutes.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they didn't play well. I mean, I thought that Port were going to smack them, which is what happened. But this is a weird game because Richmond are in good form, and nor are West Coast. So it's a really, really strange game to pick. It's a nightmare tip.
Yeah, I think there's a few harder ones, funnily enough, this week. I went West Coast just because I was riding the wave of Port, and I knew it was going to come soon. But I think Richmond are still in a much better spot than West Coast.
No doubt about it.
Given the injuries, given they're still coming out of COVID, and just the fact that I don't think they're in the top 10 teams this year, West Coast. Mind that I think Richmond are on the fringe of the top 10. They're either 9, 10 or 11, maybe even 12. But I think West Coast could almost be a bottom 4 side this year. I'm going to go as far as say that.
They're pretty bad, and I think that was the tip this year that a lot of people around the game had thought that West Coast weren't going to be good. I think I had them pretty low too. Yeah, they're not a great side. And even with their players back, their big name players back, it just doesn't seem to work for them. I think their bubble's gone. They're all getting a bit old. Injuries are around them. And you are right about Richmond. They have that ability to sort of play up and get to maybe 10th or 9th. But I don't know. There's also another thing about them where they're on that slope going downwards, and they're not getting any better. The only thing I would say about Richmond is that I've heard that Dusty is back.
I do have that.
Into training?
He's in training. Now, I'll be very surprised if he plays this one.
He won't play this game.
I think he plays next week.
Yeah.
Because I think they play you next week.
Oh,
so I think he'll come in for that.
I tell you, man, it's like everybody saves their big name players until they play Collingwood. It happens every fucking week. I'm sick of it.
We'll get into that, especially when we get to recapping yours. But yeah, there's a few there. So who you go on in this one? Because your man's in training, but I don't think he comes back this week. Apparently he's in good nick, been out spending some money on his property portfolio, by the way, in this month off.
Why not?
Yeah, he's a pretty smart investor, old Martin. But yeah, who you going?
I'll go Richmond.
I was going to say, I'll be surprised if you tip West Coast.
Yeah, I'll go Richmond by 24.
Yeah, I think that's safe. I don't know if for Friday night game, I don't know if it's going to be the best one to watch, but
it probably won't. It's not going to be a stellar game to say the least. But now Richmond to get it done.
Yeah, me too. Now the kickoff to Saturday is actually could have been the Friday night, and it's Geelong v Freo. Now both off wins, and I have to say, as a Brisbane fan, I'm happy for Freo, and I also think they're very good, but they're letting us fly under the radar because now everyone's just talking about Freo.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're good. It's worth, talk about them. I just want to see it against top echelon, and this is what we're going to get. I'm so excited for this game. Let's see.
Well, it's styles against styles, isn't it? Because you look along, they don't want to play that style that Freo play.
No.
And Freo want to go quick. They're young. They're fast.
All of them. Nippy. Nippy little fuckers.
Basically, except for Monday, they're all agile and quick.
Have the most high educated IQ in the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
We'll take quick nippers.
Yeah, we'll take that with fucking speedsters around.
Yeah.
But Yeah, man. Like I love this game too. I think it's going to be a cracker. I'm going to be home Friday night, probably watching that.
Oh, that's Saturday, sadly. That should be Friday. That's what I was saying. Saturday, 1 p.m. It's a joke, eh? Yeah, you got West Coast Richmond Friday, and this on Saturday, 1 p.m.
I'm not even going to bother watching that. That's getting rubbed. I'm playing pro clubs. No.
Yeah. It makes it an easier decision for us, but yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so Saturday, I'll still watch it. Yeah, no, it's going to be a great game. Obviously, we all think that Geelong are toast, but they're the best regular season team that's ever lived. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me. Is it in the West?
It's at Geelong. That changes my mind on this too.
That changes my opinion too, because you know what they're like down in the Cattery.
They'll win at the Cattery.
Geelong beat Brisbane. And you know, for me, that's massive because I put Brisbane right there with the D's. I think the D's, and we'll touch on them later, but like Brisbane are right there for me with Demons as the two best in the comp. So if they could beat Brisbane there, I think they might have enough to get over Freo, and I will tip Geelong in a close one. But I mean, Jezza Cameron, I hate that guy, but man, he's playing some good footy this year.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like I watched a fair bit of Freo last week against Carlton, and they're so brilliant moving forward. And their defense is good too, but how are they going to mark Hawkins and Cameron? It's very intriguing.
I don't know, that Pierce is played out of his skin this year.
So that's what we said last week. They're all playing out of their skin.
Yeah, he might go to Hawkins. I mean, it's kind of funny, isn't it, that was their coach is the ex-assistant coach for Buckley, and Collingwood decided to let him go, and now he's doing what he does for Fremantle. So funny that. But yeah, it's going to be really, really hard for them, like you said, with big bodies up top. But yeah, Geelong are just too good
at home. At home, it's
just too good at home.
Horrible, and like that's
because in the West, I tip Freo.
I probably would as well, but I think, like I said, there's a Geelong. I think Geelong win this, and it's going to be interesting to see Freo losing going into the fourth, and then what happens? Do they stay in? Which I think, watching them, I think they stay in, or do they drop? And
then back your style, don't you?
And Geelong put 30-40 on, but I'm going to say Geelong by 12. I think it should be close.
It'll be close. I'll go Geelong by 18.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we got Saturday Arvo game, Adelaide v GWS, another big learning game.
Well.
Adelaide,
like
obviously.
We all got made to look like fools.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I was about to say. Adelaide with the big win over the Dogs. They keep doing it. They keep just laying the Giants and just surprising everyone, really.
Here's the thing, though. Is this a thing where it's more to say about Adelaide, or is it more to say about the Dogs? I dare say it's more to say about the Dogs. And I don't want to take anything away from Adelaide because I thought they were brilliant. They're really up for the fight. And like you say all the time, in comparison to GWS, they're not up for the fight. Adelaide are up for the fight, and that's going to get you over the line a lot of times if you're just always there. And that's what happened against the Dogs. But the Dogs, man, like they're just not there this year for whatever reason. And I know they got some injuries to some players, but not like not enough to make you go, oh shit, well they shouldn't be where they are.
No,
but I don't know. I said to you after that Bevo spat, I felt like there was something going on in behind the scenes because he's not like that.
No,
he's pretty good. So something's going on there, and they're not playing good footy. And like Bontempelli's not playing good. It's really strange for the Dogs at the moment. But you can never write them off because they can win about 8 or 9 games in a row to get themselves to the grand final.
Doesn't look likely though.
Nah, not this year. You wouldn't think. But Adelaide, back to Adelaide in this game. I'm going to tip them. I think they're in great form. I'm going to back them this week, which they'll probably fucking.
We'll back them and they'll lose this week. We'll back them against GWS, and GWS will come out and win by points.
GWS need to win, and it's the second week back for Toby Green. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be more up for it. The form's probably going to be there. I don't know, dude. I'll back Adelaide. I'll go with. I think Tex is playing brilliant. I mean, you think of it like this, right? This guy, obviously, we know what he did, the racism scandal, and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
But he comes back, and he just. Obviously, he's got to live with it. He's going to cop abuse from fans or whatever and all that. But he's just put that to the side and is playing like old Tex Walker when he was younger. Well, kicking bags, man.
Before, if you remember last year before that situation,
he was actually
he was on fire, man. He was kicking bags all the time, and he's the catalyst. Yeah, he is St Kilda's Paddy Ryder. Adelaide turned into like a hard team to play without Tex to like pretty much a good team when Tex comes in. You know what I mean? So it's
and that's without Sloan. They beat the Dogs without Sloan.
Yeah.
So no, they're a really good side. I mean, we got to talk about it. Ben Keys, arguably Smokey for Brownlow, which like Brisbane Lions reject. And like you said, some players just get that. They go,
just have to move on.
They start again. They get in a different environment. And it works for them. But let's be honest about it. I mean, we all knew the talent of Danaher, but let's be honest. He moves from Essendon to Brisbane and now is probably arguably the best forward in the comp.
Yep.
Whereas at Essendon, people were questioning whether or not he should get a high contract or be in a big team. You know what I mean?
I'd be interested to see what we are paying Danaher, because I almost think for what he's playing as right now, he's playing as that 900 grand.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting it.
And he's not. I think he's probably on, because he's on the same contract when we signed him, probably 550, 600. But imagine the next one will be
that's chips for something like
that. So we'll get into that as well when we get there. But so are you going Adelaide? I'm going to go Adelaide.
Yeah, mate, I'm sticking for the Crows, mate.
Yeah. Like you said, Toby. Oh, what is that?
Loogie, mate.
Yeah, no, it was a little hair in my beard. I just can't back GWS. I will probably not back GWS for the rest of the year. Even when they play bloody Kangas, I'm not backing GWS because
that's a hard one.
I was watching that. I was watching them playing St Kilda, and I text my mate at work, who goes for St Kilda, and St Kilda went down in the last quarter. They'd packed their bags and they were gone, and it was
it could be.
It was like pulling teeth watching GWS try to score against a team that was in the showers. It was horrible football to watch. And St Kilda just happy to let them fart ass around and do nothing.
I think Leon Cameron's got to be the most pressured coach right now.
He should get sacked now. David King did a big thing on it in SEN this morning, and it was actually a good listen if you want to go listen to that on his take. Don't drag it out. People don't think he's going to be there even if they make finals at the end of the year. So why don't you just burn it? Pay the man out, go on vacation, and then start a fresh leaf. But
just move on. And sometimes it's better like that. Or you do what Collingwood did, and you go down that route and say, "Look, we don't want you next year. This year, last year, we're happy to see it out for everything you've done." A bit like what they did with Buckley.
Yep.
And you see the season out. Well, I mean, Buckley didn't even see the season out. Actually, sorry, that's wrong. Buckley
6 more weeks.
Yeah, he got like 5 or 6 more weeks, and then he was gone. But they could go down that route, but they should. They need to. They need to make a statement because
just get the wheels moving. But Adelaide might push that needle, and Adelaide will win this. Adelaide will win this probably by like 6 points again. They win tight ones. They like it. You going Adelaide as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
easy.
Yeah, I had them as bloody, I think 16th this year.
Yeah, I had them spoons, mate.
There you go.
Yeah, eating that. Anyway, next one.
What do we know?
Yeah, nothing. Got a big test for a team probably playing out their skin as well, and it's Melbourne v Hawks. Now, I want to touch on something you said before about how you got the Melbourne and Brisbane there and then the pack. The way I see this right now, right, you've got about 6 teams, right? The Sydney, St Kilda, Fremantles, you can add Carlton in there, Geelong. They're all in a pack, right? If this was a horse race, they're a pack. 1 length ahead of them is Brisbane, and then 3 lengths ahead of Brisbane's Melbourne.
Yeah.
I think
Melbourne's fucking winks, mate.
I don't think it's fair to say there's a top 2 right now. I think Melbourne is by themselves, and then we're by ourselves a stretch behind them, and then there's a blanket over a bunch.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. And you are right, because I wanted to touch on Melbourne. They look right now, and I haven't said this about many teams for at least 10 years. I mean, even the great Hawks sides, I never said this about. Even the Richmonds, they look unbeatable. I cannot see a way. I really do not know how anybody puts together a game plan to beat this team. I can't see. They are flawless. If the D's show up, they are flawless everywhere. They're great at the back. They're great in the middle. Best ruckman in the game. And you know what's funny? They're doing all this without what I would say great forwards.
The forward line, if they have a weakness, is the forward line. Yeah, they're
good forwards. But they're not great. No, but they seem to get it done.
That's the
It's
strangest
because their
thing.
midfielders float forward and they create so much turnover and they get they're getting so many opportunities. That's basically what it is. If you're getting that many looks, you're gonna score eventually. And Ben Brown's no scrub, so he's obviously kicking goals. And McDonald's all right and Fritsch and stuff like that. But No, this team is elite. They could legitimately go unbeaten. They could rival Brisbane Lions record where they went like 22 games, something like that.
They're on 12 now, I think.
Through. It could easily happen, man. I cannot see a way. Every week I look at this team, and even though they get close games sometimes, they find ways to win, and that's what all elite teams do. But in a grand final, I tipped it, and if anybody listened to our podcast when we did the AFL predictions, I still tipped Lions to win the premiership because I feel in a standalone grand final, Brisbane can do it. Yeah, but right now, mate, they are unbelievable.
It's so tantalising because Melbourne by a country mile have the absolute best defense in the league right now, and the best defense I've seen in a long time. And you could say Brisbane have the best forward line in the league by a country mile as well. Yeah, they could argue that with Geelong. But I'd say Brisbane Smalls below Geelong Smalls in the forward line out of the water. So that's why it's so tantalising. It's two styles: attack, best forward line, best defense. You won't get through. It's bloody brilliant, and it deserves to be the final day. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, you never know how the finals go. No. But you are right. Like Brisbane's forward line probably is the best. It scores a lot. Every single one of them can kick a bag, like we saw with bloody Bailey kicking six. So, but yeah, you're right. Jeremy Cameron and Tom Hawkins are probably better tools than what Brisbane have got. But Joe Danaher is probably the best out of the three.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
Kind of levels itself out, but. Yeah, it's tantalising. Where the game is won or lost for me is the midfield and how that goes. I mean, what do you probably go Oliver onto Neil, Petrarca onto Lions, and then from there it's like Viney goes to whoever else who else floats in the middle for.
That's the interesting thing because now we've moved Zorko, we float Bailey through, we float Rayner through, we float McGluggage through. That third
isn't McGluggage usually in the wing?
Yeah, but he's been in the middle a bit. Like it's the last 3 weeks, mate, Fagan's been experimenting. He's had Charlie Cameron half back sometimes. He's moving magnets. He's going, what can I keep up my sleeve here? And he's just trying Rayner's getting a lot of midfield time, and so is Bailey. They're probably getting the most. And then sometimes McGluggage comes through. And it's interesting to see them all grow. And yeah, it's like that. It's just such a and we don't play each other till round 15. And you can now bet because like we say, Melbourne look unbeatable. Sports bet now have a thing where you can bet for when they lose, and it's got every round from now until
it gets higher. Every single time.
It doesn't even get like St Kilda are paying less than Hawthorn this week. So Hawthorn they're not. They play St Kilda next week. Brisbane in round 15 pay, I think, $15 because they need to get to round 15 first.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's just interesting. If you want to go have a look on sports bet, it's quite a little interesting thing. Dad put money on any team to go undefeated this year at 500-1 at the start of the league. So that'll be an interesting.
I'll tell you what, I'll say that about your dad. He seems to have these weird bets at the start of the year that always seem to
they seem to catch fire.
Like Ollie Wines winning the Brownlow last year. Nobody picked that. That was just
88-1, mate.
Yeah, that was just a bold call, and it worked. It fucking worked. He'll get it again. Melbourne will go undefeated. I'm telling him.
So what are we doing? I mean, you're not seeing the Hawks win this, are you?
No, I think as much credit as I give to Sam Mitchell, I think Sydney exposed them. Last fourth quarter that Sydney produced because I watched it before the Collingwood game. Fuck me, they pulled their pants down. It was just goal. No, I can't see Hawthorn doing anything against Melbourne. I think they're too good. And even if they do try to put some style in, they just got too many big name players, man.
I think Melbourne flog them.
I can see it.
They'll bring Hawthorn down to earth just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. You're not there.
But they're still doing way better than I thought they would be. So that's thanking that. And so next one we got another learning game was Saints v Port. Port off a win, obviously. Saints arguably the second best in form because they've won 5 in a row behind Melbourne.
This one's sticky. I hate this.
It's tough. I don't like it. I would rather just void it. I'm out.
You know what? Won't bet on this one this week.
Hayes out, Paddy back. So I mean, they're not freaking out over that.
Your mate's gonna hate me here, but I think Port will win.
I think he thinks Port will win. I have to ask him actually because he's scared because he's like they just fucking won. It's the worst time to play them. You would rather they didn't win. And
that's all it takes. And they're not a bad team. And when they can get it going, it will work for them. I think the Saints obviously have been very, very good, but
Shit hot.
they're there to be beaten. Like, if Collingwood can beat them, then surely a team that's better than Collingwood can.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
And, like, they haven't played what you would call the biggest names yet either. St Kilda, they haven't really been tested.
No. Same boat as Fremantle with that one.
So I'm going to go Port. I think they'll go back to back. I think they're just going to get that confidence. What they're going to do. This, you know what that win does for Port, and I think this reminds me a lot of the 0-6 Sydney. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
0-6 Sydney.
Yeah,
and everybody writ them off, and then they managed to get in the top 8. Yep. Never been done before. This gives me the same sort of vibes. I think they just get that confidence to get the roll on, and they wipe the previous 5 rounds, and they say, "Look, that's done. It's been done. We can't replace that now. It's just about getting better." And I think their class comes out now. I think they'll be very surprised if St Kilda beat Port. That will really set the mark for me that the Saints are the real deal. Where they're at,
exactly. Yep,
they're the real deal. But right now, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Port. They'll probably let me down again, but whatever.
See, like you said at the finals as well, Essendon made the finals last year from a 2-7 start for the first 9, and Port have a better list.
They won't make it this year. They won't make it this year.
Essendon won't, but I'm saying Port have a better list than Essendon did, and Essendon made it out of a hole like that.
Exactly.
So it just depends how they play. Like I said, I need to see going forward. It's a horrible one to punt on. You almost just don't want to even.
Oh, you do just want to skip it. I may even just skip it and just not bet on it because it's
has to be
$1.90
a piece. Like, it might not be $1.90 a piece because
I
think it's at St Kilda. So, but
live calls.
Paddy back's massive. So
yeah, look,
I'm probably going to go Saints. We'll split that one, so one of us wins. That's the best way to do it.
So for that game, Jesus, I can have a gaze. What a pain.
Oh, okay.
You can't see it there because it's back to front, but when you edit this video, you'll see it. $2.45, Port Adelaide.
Yeah, wow.
That's too good to go past.
That's heavy. Like, I doubt my mate punts on it. No, he probably will.
That's going to bump your multi up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, $3 for Fremantle?
There's another one down the bottom that might surprise you too, and we'll get to that when we get to the end.
What?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Hold that. That one's a shocking one, that one. Anyway,
sure.
You're going Port. I'm going Saints. I'm going to go Saints by 2 points.
In a fucking thriller, mate.
In a thriller. I think that's a Saturday night game as well. That'll be a cracker. All right. Moving on then, we got Carlton v North. Pitnet, same situation as Grundy, PCL, so 3 months. And Ben Mackay suspended, so he won't be marking up his brother. Which is a shame.
7 years they haven't played against each other? You see that stat?
No, it's
Fox 40 put it out today. They've been drafted, right? Since they've been drafted, 7 years they've never played against each other.
That's every so single strange.
Time, every time
and they would be right on each other.
Yeah,
full back and full forward.
Yeah, every time they go to play each other, one of them gets injured.
Yeah,
that's weird.
See, I think that's. I'll tell you one thing. Fremantle looked very good, but as soon as Pitnet was out, you could see that Carlton was shot. So I have no idea how much of a impact this is. The problem was Silvani wasn't in there, and he goes ruck when Pitnet's out, but he wasn't.
Silvani.
Yeah, Silvani plays up.
Oh, it's a string bean.
Yeah, yes, but he does better than the De Koning that went in. De Koning didn't look like a ruckman. He looked like a forward trying to play ruck. Whereas Silvani actually kind of, believe it or not, looks like a ruckman. I remember watching a few games. I was very surprised with he actually could handle himself. But they're not going to have a problem here because it's North. I think Carlton beat North. But going forward, this Pitnet situation, this could get dicey because I didn't know how important he was to them until he went out.
I think I think North Melbourne can dominate in the clearance. Like if they get some real dominance with their ruckman.
I think they beat us in clearances, and we beat them 100, which is so strange. But they beat us in clearances.
Exactly,
that does make sense. But anyway,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But so they will dominate there. But like you said, yeah, I can't see it. I don't think Carlton are playing great at the moment. I think their bubbles burst a little bit, but I think they're good enough to beat North. If they don't beat North, then they're just going to have some questions asked about it. But I don't think North are good enough to beat Carlton for 4 quarters. They might beat them for 1. I think that can happen. I really do think that could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the first or the third or something like that. But I can't get over the line. The big bully will carry him through.
Yeah, so I think Cripps will kick bloody 3 again and get another 30 touches. I need to find a way to get back in my sleep, coach. But yeah, Carlton by 40.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yep.
I'll back it. I'll go with you.
And then the game after that, we got your boys Collingwood v Suns. Obviously, Collingwood with the big Anzac Day win. Young Ginnivan taking away the medal. But the painful thing is, second youngest, which surprised me. I thought he'd be the youngest. But the one that hurts is Grundy PCL. But I don't think it hurts you in this game. It might. Oh, sorry. Witz is a demon, so who knows?
Witz is a demon.
He's a demon.
He is a demon. It's really interesting for us because we don't have a genuine like second class ruckman. Like, it's going to have to be Cameron.
Yeah, it'll have to be.
I can't see Cox going there. So the only issue then arises is if they take Grundy out and they go, okay, we got to play Cameron, and now Kruger's out because he's done his shoulder.
I saw that.
Yeah, so now that means that Cox will play because there's no other tool. So it'll be Cameron and Cox. So they will float in between, but I would say that Cameron will play majority of it. And he's not bad. He's okay.
Cut him in.
He can hold his own somewhat. He's not going to get you Grundy numbers. No. But that performance from Grundy really highlights like some elite level stuff because he was absolutely monstrous in that fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
He dominated the game. He got a goal and he had a fucking fucked up PCL. So that's massive.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit. He's copped a lot of stick over the last year or two from Collingwood supporters.
Undeserved stick, if you ask me.
I think so too. It's because he got that massive deal and the numbers he did in 2019 when he was the All-Australian, like not even Gorney's hitting those numbers.
Yeah.
That was just an unreal year that warranted his contract. And he's still an elite ruckman. He's still, for me, probably top 3 ruckman. I think the top 3
he's
ruckman.
top 3 ruckman for sure.
Yeah, it's Gorney, Nick Nat, and Grundy.
Yeah.
And I'm not debating that.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now, Gorney's head and shoulders above. But, yeah, Grundy's unbelievable. But it'll be a big miss for us. But I think we're still good enough to beat the Suns. They're a good team, though. Like, don't count them out.
You can't sleep on them. You can't sleep.
You can't. Like, even though, like, Brisbane obviously ran away with it in the end, they still compete.
Yeah.
They've had games where they showed up and they probably could have won. So it'll be tough for us. We'll have to show up. But I think that boost from the Anzac Day win, because it's always massive to win the Anzac Day. 85,000 people there. And Collingwood did something in that game that they did in the Brisbane game, and it didn't work, obviously, because Brisbane are a better side than Essendon, but we got very close, right? Like, obviously, we only lost by 7 points. In the fourth quarter, and they're doing this a lot, I've noticed this with McRae, for 3 quarters he plays Pendlebury at halfback. And in the fourth, he puts him in the middle. And in that fourth quarter, he dominated the middle.
Yep.
And I think that may be not so much a quote-unquote tactic from McRae. I actually think it's to save Pendlebury because he's older now.
And
he doesn't. I don't think he's got the legs to go 4 quarters in the middle.
No, I don't think so either.
I think they're playing a halfback. Say, okay, save your legs, save your energy, and then we'll swap you and Chris in that fourth quarter, and Chris will go back. And it worked. It's been working, and I think they'll continue to do that. So if it is close in the fourth quarter, Pendles will go back there and shore it up.
It's a good ace in the sleeve to have.
It's a very good ace.
Pendles.
Yeah. I know, just the ball magnet. But Ginnivan, he's an elite forward. Like he's a really for 19 small forward, kick 5 goals on Anzac Day. You're going pretty good. So yeah, he's a weapon. But I think we'll get over the line. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think we'll get over the line by probably about maybe 20, 22.
I think it helps that you are playing Suns this week with Grundy out, so it gives you a week to kind of figure it out. But like you said about Suns, they're not easy beats. When I was watching our game, because we played Suns last week, we would like get a lead and then we'd try to chill out, like go into reserve mode. Yeah, and then they just kick a goal or two. They just would not go away. So then we had to go, oh, fuck, all right. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say it's good we beat them easy. I'm saying I've seen the last 2 weeks, we're trying to do what Melbourne are doing and chill and try not to get injured, trying to do this if you can. But we can't do it like they can. That's why they're so far ahead because...
You did it against Collingwood. Because when I was there,
you almost got up. That's the problem. We can't do it that fourth quarter.
It was weird. Like it's like Brisbane took their foot off the gas, and we came back. But obviously, like they seeded out. But you are right. Like they're leaving themselves open a lot, and it will be a team one day that's not as good as them that's going to catch them. Yeah, you know who it's going to be? Flat out, it's going to be the Crows. I'll put money on it. because they don't go away. They don't go away. I mean, if Brisbane go, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know, that we can coast. But
Yeah, probably will be the fucking Crows.
So probably will be the Crows.
So you're going Collingwood win? Oh, I think
yeah, mate, by 20, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm going to say Collingwood by 12. 12. Ginnivan for another 4. Back that.
Yeah, you could back him.
Yeah. And then we got, I think this is the Sunday afternoon game, middle game. Yeah, the Sunday afternoon middle game. Oh, you on Sunday as well. There you go.
Yeah, there's lots of games on Sunday.
Yeah, so this is the 4 p.m. It's Bulldogs versus Essendon. Another great learning game. Both off losses.
This is a tipping nightmare. And you know what's a tipping nightmare?
It's terrible.
Because Merritt and Stringer are back. And
I can't believe Merritt was back.
I
thought it was shenanigans.
So did I.
And then he played.
I thought it was shenanigans. And he was there. He turned up still number 7 at the start of the game. I was like, oh, what is this business? And then when Stringer kicked that first goal, I was like, oh, get fucked.
Package.
And the package was out. And he had a good game. Darcy Parish, I just want to say one thing. You touch the ball a lot, but you do nothing with it.
No,
he only had 2 inside 50s. 2.
Yeah.
At 44 disposals, he had 2 inside 50s. That is deplorable. Like, that is really bad.
Well, he had 44 disposals, but less kicks than DeGoey.
That's what I'm saying.
31 handballs. I mean, you can't do much damage with that many handballs.
Every single clearance, he just got the ball and handball it out. That's pretty much what happened.
Yep.
Like, he didn't really impact the game that much.
And here's the thing. Like when you have one of them players like a McRae or like Tom Mitchell, Lachie Neale used to be the accumulator, but he started adding goals and changed his game. But if you have one of them, you need the Bontempelli next to them. You need a Petrarca next to them. You need that. I don't think Stringer played the middle, did he?
No, he didn't. He stayed forward.
If you got Parish game 44, 31 handballs, make sure he's handballing to fucking Stringer.
Yeah.
Because then he'll damage. It doesn't make sense.
That might have been just genuinely because it was his first game back and he maybe not fitness to go through the middle. Because you noticed that last year when he was really getting those like 25 touches, 3 goal type games, he had the gas tank to go. And I just think it was his first game back. They didn't want to do it. And Merritt in the middle, he's a high accumulator, but he can be damaging, but he wasn't really too damaging.
Yeah. He's more damaging than Parish, but he's in the similar boat. Whereas Stringer needs to touch it 20 times and he can win you a game by, they need to have Stringer in there.
You need to have an X factor in the middle of the park.
You need to. Even Oliver used to be an accumulator. He's done the same as Lockie. He gets out of goals, but Oliver complements Petrarca because Petrarca's the Dusty. Bonte's the Dusty, not in like as good as Dusty or whatever, but that player.
But you know who they got on top of that as well that doesn't really get any of the credit, but he absolutely complements those two and does all the shit. It's finding.
Yeah, he works hard. Works hard on the ball.
Just a hard worker. We've got that now midfield with Adams. Adams just a grunt. He can touch the ball a lot, but he's there just because he's just in there for the fight.
Exactly.
And he allows the DeGoeys and even Lipinski now's getting in there a lot and all these type of guys. So you need a grunt and you need someone that's an X factor.
Same as the Dogs. They've got Bont and McRae and then Libba. Can't get much more grunt than fucking Libba.
Oh, Libba loves it, mate. I just love when you see a game and Libba's touches are like 30. You're like, man, this the ball's been locked in there a lot.
Yeah. That's his game.
It ain't coming out.
So that's
which tip?
Parish has an ankle issue. I don't know if he's out yet. We're going to find out later on. But even if he's playing, I can't go against the Dogs. I don't know why. You would think I could because of their history right now. I don't know. Who are you going?
Dogs.
Yeah, I got to go Dogs.
I'm going Dogs just because, and they ain't playing good. So this is I'm not taking form into it. I just think that I don't think either sides are good right now, but I just think that Bulldogs can get themselves there. I know they played shit against the Crows, but they will not. I don't think they're going to come back from that. Whereas Essendon didn't play bad against Collingwood, but still got beat. Yeah. So that's hard to get to that next level. But Dogs have got so much higher ceiling. Yeah. So I think they can, and they probably will. So yeah, I'll go Dogs. But in a tight one, I'll go Dogs by 12.
I tell you what, though, I'm going Dogs by 12 too. But if Bont plays forward and Stringer plays middle, Essendon win.
Why would Bont play forward? You reckon he's carrying?
He played forward all last game and they lost.
That's why he gave me like no touches.
Yeah, they played Bont forward all last game because they have no one to stand with Norton. They got that Jamal Ugle Hagen.
And they played Sharky too.
it's just not happening yet. A few months. I think it will happen for that Hagen. It's just going to take time, but they can't be asking Hagen to be the second big dog right now because he's just not ready. And
Tell you what, he's looking like a very strange first pick, isn't he? Like if he didn't play a game last year.
That was the strange thing. I think he played 2, maybe 2.
Yeah, very, very odd. And he's not really hitting the straps this year. It's a very odd type of, like for a first pick of the draft. I'm yet to see, like, I have never seen many first picks that just don't. I mean, obviously you look at McCartan, but he sort of kind of revitalized his career at Sydney. But yeah, it's very strange. I can't think of, in terms of recent history, I can't think of many first picks.
It wasn't McCartan's skill set is why he wasn't getting games. It's because he gets knocked out every third game, and we're about to get into that.
He got knocked out again.
So we're both going Dogs. Yeah, we're both going Dogs. So yes, last game of the round, Swans v Lions. Lohman's out for Lions. They'll probably rub him in. McCartan did get knocked out again, and they've said it's all right. They said he's fine, but I think this bloke is up to 6. It's some enormous. It's horrible to watch. I saw a photo of him, and I don't know. There's got to be a time where they don't record the sheds, to be honest, because this bloke's heart's breaking in the sheds, and they take photos of him and that, and I'm just like, mate, you understand what's going on here? But he says he's going to be right. He's obviously not playing this game. I don't know what you do with that because he can't stop getting hit in the head. I don't. So and like he's.
It's a bit like you.
Yeah, well, yeah. I stopped playing 2 years
ago. Does he wear headgear though?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a hard one. People are saying, can you coach toughness out of a player because you want his skills on the ground, and then you're going against what you're coaching everyone else. People are saying, will the AFL have to stop him because he might want to play on, but the AFL go, we can't guarantee you're okay to get hit again. So it's going to get dicey. I hope it's all good and he plays on. It's very, very, very minor, but we will see.
He deserves it too because I think this year he's been brilliant. I think he's been brilliant.
He's a brilliant player. Like I enjoy him, and it's just he just gets fucking smacked in the head constantly,
all the time.
Yeah, but he puts himself there with his toughness and fearlessness. He's one of these players who does not take his eyes off the football. And after Brownie had his massive facial reconstructure, that's the only time it got coached out of him. And it didn't have to get coached. Something like that had to happen. There was 2 times later in Brownie's career, he pulled out of that situation. But it's because he broke half his face.
That's what it's going to take.
And that's why you don't want this to happen in this bloke. So
no, you don't.
And I don't think it can get coached out, but we'll see. But anyway, we'll get to the game. I'm not sure who comes in for McCartan, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I don't know Sydney's list too well off the top of my head.
They could move McInerney back to half back and slide in the young fella Stevens into wing. But besides that, I'm not too sure. But yes.
Also, so I think McDonald may be injured for them as well. Don't quote me.
Well, that's not going to help.
I don't quote me. I saw him on the bench.
Yeah,
I only watched a little bit of their game, so I'm going to presume he was injured.
Yep, I haven't seen that, but that won't help them either. It's going to be an interesting. It's a cracker to end the round, but like I showed you before on your phone, Lions are underdogs.
Yeah, I know that. I couldn't have Lions as underdogs right now. I think that's pretty silly. Although Sydney are 4th and Brisbane are 3rd.
Yeah,
so
it's tight.
They're probably 10 cents favourite just because they're at home. And I would imagine if it was at Gabba, it would be the other way. But if you're a tipper, I'm loving the tip against Brisbane. I think that's a really good shout, to be honest. Although it would be a tough game.
Oh, it's going to be a cracker. I'll say I got us by 4 points, 5 points because they come to play and they I love this game because Swans don't play slow. We don't play slow. It's a firefight. Our game last year, they beat us, but it was unreal to watch. It's just it's chaos, controlled chaos. This game. So,
it is absolutely is. It's going to be high octane in your face.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Brisbane by the single goal. Although there's a part of me that can see Sydney, but
yeah, I can see it.
It's such a swing in the balance for me, but gun to the head, I'll go Brisbane. I think they're good enough to get it done, and just maybe with McCartan being out,
That hurts.
Sydney might struggle. Sydney might struggle just to find who goes where, because he could have, potentially went to Danaher. He could potentially go to McStay.
He would have been Danaher. McStay. He would have went to, I would say.
So so interesting. But I think Brisbane might get over the line here.
Yep.
Very, very close though. But I tip them to win, get the job done.
Yep. I'm going to tip them too. Even though Mills just had
mate,
Supercoach record
167.
Yeah,
that is insane.
I'll just before we go, I'm going to let you know on a fact. So you know how Darcy Fort, they say, looks like the Home Alone bloke.
Yeah.
Now he's on the verge, right, of breaking a world record, an AFL world record. Okay. Now,
what do you mean? How is this even possible?
Now, all right. There's a stat. There's a record for the most goals you've kicked from your AFL star career till you miss, and the world record's 11.
Oh,
there's about 5 blokes, and this bloke, a ruckman, a second string ruckman, in fact, has kicked 11 goals straight to start his career.
Yeah. So if he kicks a goal, he's sweet.
If Darcy Fort kicks one more goal before he misses, he will hold the world record for the most straight kicks.
I've seen those before, because usually they always bring that up when like all these new players start and they're like, oh, they're at 6, they're at 7.
How is this close? How has this bloke got a chance when Tex Walker, Lance Franklin? You could go on and on about these forward names. You think they'd probably be able to do this?
Because I'd say probably harder chances. So when he gets his shots at goal, they're probably a bit more central.
Gimmies.
Yeah, well, not so much gimmies, but like he's probably a bit more central because he floats forward from the ruck and stuff like that. Whereas, maybe a free kick off a ruck infringement or whatever. Whereas, obviously the buddies and Tex, they're getting stuff on the boundary. So they're also going to shank one. But you'd think after all the elite footballers that have played this game, 11's not that much.
No. And people on the list, I don't think I knew any of them. It was like this, just random cases where this bloke just can't miss. That's his career.
You're thinking 11 goals, mate. Gary Ablett can kick that in the game.
Yeah, it's funny though, but then when you think about it, you're like, you would probably miss one out of 11, I guess, but it's just
you're going to shank one.
It's interesting. And like he kicked. I think he knows about it because when he kicked his 11 on the weekend, it was actually nice on the run kick.
Just real straight.
He was up about it. So he's got a world record to break against the Swans this weekend. So I'm keen for that.
Fucking Home Alone,
Darcy Fort. But yeah, that wraps it up for us, mate. That's it.
Wrap it up again, mate. Episode 5, round 7. It's always hard to get that one out, eh? I think, are we going to have to change the format of it? Because it's like, what are we going to do?
We might just start saying the round, to be honest.
Yeah, what is like round 12, episode 9 or something like that. It's just going to be too confusing. So, yeah, we might just stick with the round next time.
Yes.
So, yeah, that wraps it up, as Jack said. So, as usual, if you make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow Jack's gaming channel. He's back. He had a little break. He's back now. So, his handle will be down there in the description below and probably up against his face like it always is. But as usual, guys, enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
Catches.